Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. How are you everyone? So let me begin with a deceptively simple question. What is intelligence? We use the word um, we use the word constantly. We say humans are intelligent. We say animals are intelligent. Now we say machines are intelligent. But when we pause and ask what intelligence actually is, the answer becomes surprisingly elusive. So it's intelligence, the ability to reason, the ability to learn, the ability to solve problems, or something deeper like consciousness or understanding. This question sits at the center of modern artificial intelligence research. Since the early days of computing, scientists have debated whether intelligence is fundamentally computational, something that can be implemented in machines, or biological, something deeply rooted in the structure of living brains. The debate traces back to pioneers such as Alan Turing and later thinkers like David Marr, who tried to explain intelligence through both computation and neuroscience. So tonight in this video, I want to explore this question through three lenses. The first one is the computational theory of intelligence, and the second one, the biological foundations of cognition, and third, at the end result tension between the two. Because understanding intelligence may ultimately determine the future of artificial intelligence itself. Now, in this first part, the very first part, I want to talk about intelligence as computation. So the computational view of intelligence begins with a powerful idea. Thinking may be a form of processing, just as computers manipulate symbols through algorithms. Perhaps the brain processes information in a similar way. So this perspective gained momentum in the mid-20th century when early computer scientists began building machines capable of performing tasks previously associated with human intelligence. These machines could play chess, prove mathematical theorems, solve logical problems. The implication was revolutionary. Now, if reasoning can be expressed as formal rules, then intelligence might be implemented as software. According to this view, the brain is essentially a biological computer. Wow. Nice, right? Neurons process signals, networks encode information, cognition emerges from computation. So in principle, if we produce the right computations, intelligence should emerge, regardless of whether the substrate is silicon or biology. This idea became the philosophical foundation of artificial intelligence. Now, let's talk about the rise of machine learning. So over the last 2 decades, machine learning has dramatically strengthened the computational view. Modern neural networks now perform tasks that once seemed uniquely human. Language translation, medical diagnosis, artistic creation, strategic gameplay, and systems trained on massive datasets can detect patterns beyond human perception. They do not rely on explicit rules. Instead, they learn statistical structures from data. And this approach has led to breakthroughs in speech recognition, computer vision, and natural language processing. To many observers, these achievements suggest that intelligence may indeed be an emergent property of sufficiently complex computation. If machines can learn, adapt, and generate knowledge, perhaps intelligence is simply a matter of skill and architecture, but this is only one side of the debate. Now, in this part, I want to to focus on the biological brain. Yeah. Now consider the biological perspective. The human brain is arguably the most complex structure in the known universe. Okay, in the known universe, but I don't know about whether there will be another universe. Only God knows. It contains roughly 86 billion neurons, each connected to thousands of others through synapses. These networks form a dynamic, constantly changing system shaped by experience. And like digital computers, brains operate through electrochemical signaling, parallel processing, and plastic adaptation. And perhaps most importantly, brains are embodied. They are not isolated processors. They are embedded in bodies that interact with physical environments. We learn about the world not just through abstract symbols, but through perception, movement, sensation, social interaction. This embodied perspective suggests that intelligence may arise from the interaction between brain, body, and environment. If this is true, purely computational models may capture only part of the picture. Now, right now, I want to talk on Mars' three level of understanding. So to reconcile these perspectives, neuroscientist David Marr proposed a framework that remains influential today. Marr argued that intelligence systems can be understood at three levels. The first one is the computational level. It means what problem is being solved. For instance, vision must infer the structure of the environment from right patterns. Yeah. And the second one is algorithmic level. What processes or representations solve the problem? This involves the strategies used to transform information. And the third one is the implementation level. How are these processes physically realized? In humans, this involves neurons and brain circuits. In machines, it involves processors and software. Marr's insight was profound. Different physical systems can implement the same computation. So this suggests that intelligence might indeed substrate independent, but it also leaves open a crucial question. Now, in this part, I want to ask you this question. Even if machines perform intelligent behaviors, do they actually understand? A machine translation system may convert languages flawlessly in a few seconds, but it doesn't comprehend meaning in the way humans do. Human understanding is deeply connected to experience. We interpret words through memories, past experience, past afflictions, past difficulties, or sensations and emotions around our context. Our knowledge is grounded in the physical world. Machines, by contrast, often operate purely on symbolic or statistical relationships. They recognize patterns without necessarily possessing experiential meaning. This raises a philosophical challenge sometimes called the symbol grounding problem. How do symbols acquire meaning if they are not connected to the real world? If intelligence requires grounded understanding, purely computational systems may remain incomplete. Now, in this part, I want to talk on intelligence beyond humans. Another reason the debate remains unresolved is that intelligence itself is diverse. Consider the intelligence of octopuses solving puzzles. How do they do it? I'm quite uncertain that whether this octopus has the intelligence to solve the puzzle, or it's just that it has been trained. The reason I say this is recently I spotted one of the videos posted in YouTube where the octopus literally plays a piano. And how does the owner did it was it's quite intriguing. It's like the owner was like the owner inserted the piano, right? The piano, a small piano, and tails with, of course, piano bars. Into the fish tank, where the octopus is there, and then the owner, right, just try to display and lay out the crust of the bread crust or food on the surface of the piano bars. And as soon as the octopuses, this octopus spotted, and it's not spotted, it could be sensing through the skin of the octopus. It just swiftly swim towards there, and then grabs the food on the surface of the piano. So as soon as the tentacles of the octopus grabs the food on the piano, and then, of course, its tentacles touch the piano bars, right? And then it started to play. And then the owner just displayed the crust, right? The bread crust, exactly how he wanted the octopus to play. So he would just put the bread crust on the sequential note that the owner wanted the octopus to play. Well, so obviously this is the intelligence of the owner. It's just that the octopus just came for the food. Now, and also consider the intelligence of birds navigating thousands of kilometers, ants coordinating complex colonies. Well, you would say this is nature. Well, yeah, of course, God's creation. And these systems exhibit remarkable adaptive behavior, yet their brains and computational strategies differ dramatically from ours. This suggests that intelligence may not be a single phenomenon. Instead, it may be a family of strategies evolved to solve different problems. Machines might develop forms of intelligence that are neither human nor biological, but still powerful. Now, coming to an end of my lecture, I want to focus on this one, which is hybrid intelligence. So today, many researchers believe that future lies in combining insights from both perspectives. Computational models provide um, powerful tools for pattern recognition and optimization. Biological research offers insights into learning efficiency, adaptability, causal reasoning, and body recognition. By integrating these approaches, we may move closer to systems capable of more flexible and robust intelligence. This interdisciplinary effort brings together computer science, neuroscience, psychology, philosophy, all attempting to answer the same fundamental question. Now, despite decades of research, we still cannot fully define intelligence. We know how to build systems that solve problems. We know how brains process information, but the deeper nature of intelligence remains partly mysterious. Is intelligence simply complex computation, or is it an emergency property of living systems interacting with the world? Perhaps the answer lies somewhere in between. What is clear is that artificial intelligence has transformed this question from philosophy into experiment. For the first time in history, we are building machines that force us to confront the nature of intelligence itself. And in doing so, we may discover that understanding intelligence is not only about machines, it's also about understanding ourselves. Thank you. So, this is my public lecture for this video, and I see you in my next video. I'll be coming up with more intriguing public lectures. I hope you enjoy my lectures and you get something out of this video. And have a lovely night, and God bless you bountifully in every aspect of your life. God loves you so much too. and have a lovely night. Bye.